What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. And today we have the Midwest Model Store interview for you guys. Really hope you guys are excited for today's video. Today we're really going to be changing up and doing something quite different, but I'm really excited for it. And it's going to be absolutely awesome. So without any further delay, everybody, let's jump into this. So first and foremost, this will be an interview with the Midwest Model Store. Super excited for this. And we have Ali here from the Midwest Model Store. Awesome guy. Really excited to continue to do some awesome work with him. And thank you so much, Ali, for doing this with us. And we're really excited for this. So with that being said, Ali, if you'd like to introduce yourself in the Midwest Model Store and what you do, that'd be excellent. So feel free to take the floor, if you will, right now.
Thanks so much, Connor. I'm really looking forward to this. So my name is Ali. I'm from Midwest Model Store. We've been operating for about 2 years now. We're an authorized retailer for many of the 1 in 400 brands that you guys love and collect. Gemini jets, NG models, Panda. We're the exclusive retailer for miniature models, United States and Canadian markets. We do collection sales. We do a whole bunch of stuff.
Really good stuff right there, and I'm very excited for our interview today. So you guys sent in a plethora of questions for the Midwest Model Store to answer, and these were some really good questions. So I'm excited for Ali to give you guys some really justifiable answers on how a retailer works. It's going to be quite awesome. So hope you guys are excited for this, and without any further delay, we're going to start jumping into these questions. Alrighty, everybody, so let's dive into these questions. Like I said, some really good ones coming from Instagram and YouTube, so thank you guys so much for asking these. We have some really good ones, and to give you guys some insight on how the retailer works. So let's get into this. So first and foremost, from VC10 Aviation, do you have international shipping to the UK and Europe?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we do ship to most countries across the world, including the United Kingdom and Europe. Although quite obviously, since we're based out of the United States, most of our customers that we ship to are also from the United States. So most of our shipping is domestic and also to a lesser extent to Canada as well. But we do ship on a regular basis to countries all across the world, including regularly to the United Kingdom and Europe.
Very nice right there. And again, there's pretty good rates, and I think the Midwest Model Store has some of the best international shipping rates. So really good effort right there. Very pleased with that. Our next question to follow that is, what kind of models are sold at the Midwest Model Store? Skymarks and all kinds of different brands like that. So what kind of models can we expect from the Midwest Model Store from Michael in 7579?
Michael, that's a great question. So at Midwest Model Store, we are an authorized retailer for Gemini jets, NG models, Panda models, miniature models. We also take in collection sales, so we do get quite a few, older Phoenix models and JC Wings and Air Classics and some other stuff that we also don't carry at times. We also do a little bit of 1-200 from Gemini jets, and we occasionally bring in some JC Wings as well. 1-200 also for NG. We also carry El Aviador models, which they primarily focus on Latin American models. Skymarks we currently don't carry. We don't have any tentative plans to carry them in the near future. I do have some plans to bring in a couple other brands in the near future. We'll see what happens with those. Hopefully by the end of this year and early next year, we'll have a couple more brands that we carry in the 1-400, 1-200 world. But yeah, that's a great question, Michael.
Let's also not forget that some of those are the best pricing out there in the United States. So highly recommended, and some really good price for all your brands. Very nice stuff right there. Alrighty, so here comes our next question from I am Norky. Hopefully I said that kind of right. But when will the Midwest Model Store get a physical storefront that you can go inside and check out their models?
All right, yeah. So when it comes to the physical storefront, so currently we are an online retail store only. We don't have a physical retail location, unlike many other retailers in this space in the United States. And the reason for that and why it's not as common anymore is really with 1-400 and just model airplane collecting in general, especially with the airliner models like 1-400. It's just such a niche thing that the collectors are often they're so spread out in the United States that it's hard to justify having a 1-400 or a model airplane store in a city or area unless you live in a very large metropolitan area. So for example, there's Grayland in Chicago, and in I think there's a few in the Los Angeles area, if I'm not mistaken, and some of the other larger
DG Pilot comes to mind as well in St. Paul.
DG Pilot in Minneapolis, I believe, and a couple other stores like that, and some of the airplane shops, I believe, in like Miami.
Yes.
The New Jersey area. So in some of those areas, it's a little bit easier to justify having a store like that. But even in those areas, I mean, so many people are buying the models online nowadays. I mean, especially with how competitive the retailers are when it comes to pricing and getting models out to you as quickly as possible, and just the selection that some of these online stores carry, like ourselves, that you may not be able to find in a local physical retail shop in your area if you are lucky enough to have one. So it's just and there's a lot more liability with a physical retail location versus an online location. You have people that could, if someone falls and slips inside the store, you could be liable for that. That's an extra set of liability that you have to consider. And then you got to have more employees to go in and manage the store, and then you got your security risks, and you got the store could get damaged by weather, the physical store, and also you got the added costs of having a storefront that hopefully is in a good area. And there's all these extra costs that get added up, and it becomes a lot more expensive to run a store like that versus an online store. And that also means that sometimes the pricing in these physical stores, to make up for the added costs, just have to be higher than what the online stores like Midwest Model Store can offer. So there's a lot of aspects to it that you have to consider. But at the end of the day, it's just two different ball games, really. Do you want? I mean, if you have the metro area where you can get, more traffic, or enough traffic to justify having a physical store, then all power to you. But I, especially being in southern Indiana, even if we're about an hour south of Indianapolis, which is a rather large metro area, but even in Indianapolis, it would be pretty hard, and from my perspective, to justify having a 1 to 400 store up there. I don't think there would be enough demand for it to be worth it. And I think with our shipping times, I think, Connor, you can attest to this. We're 1 to 3 days to
Absolutely.
most of the country. So, I mean, if you don't mind waiting an extra day to 3 days to get your models, plus that are usually a very reasonable shipping rate because we're in the middle of the country, we can get it to most of the country pretty affordably and pretty quickly. But there's really not that many advantages from my perspective over just having an online store where we can cater to the entire country. Connor, you have anything to add to that?
No, that is a fantastic answer, and really thinking about the logistics, like you were saying, like if it's optimized correctly, I do feel like it would work really well, and that's why some operations in big metro areas, like you were saying, do have a physical storefront. But in the case of the Midwest Model Store, it makes more sense for it to be a web-based. But who knows, maybe in the future. But there's also collectible shows that are coming out that I'm sure the Midwest Model Store will have a storefront at. So be sure to stay on the lookout for that. Very nice answer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and honestly, there's a lot of other retailers that operate similarly to how I do, and it's just one of the best ways that we can keep the costs down for you guys. And you'll notice that the stores that operate like we do typically have some of the lowest pricing you can find, just because we have so few expenses, unlike the physical stores to cover, that we can pass off the savings to you guys as well.
Alrighty, so next question comes from AidXC 2023. Are there any plans for Panda or Phoenix models? And I will say before this is answered, Panda models are on the Midwest Model Store, so I would highly recommend looking on there and checking everything out. But yes, and then Phoenix will be a whole different conversation. So here we go with this question.
All right, so we do carry Panda models at the moment, and we have been for a while now. Great manufacturer, they produce some fantastic models, really. When it comes to Phoenix models, a lot of the models that Phoenix have been making recently are not the most popular models in the US market. And just kind of from my perspective, not a very high demand for the models, and kind of, to try to keep models on hand that are as popular with our collectors as possible and our customers. We kind of avoid carrying Phoenix models at the moment and rather focus on NG models and Gemini jets and some other manufacturers which produce more models that we believe are more popular with our customers. So currently we don't carry Phoenix models. If we get to the point where we start to carry some other brands and we're large enough that we can just bring in some models like the Phoenix models, that aren't as popular, because they do produce some nice models for the US. There are some models that there are collectors here that would want the models. Then we would definitely consider bringing them on at a later time. But for now, they're kind of on our lower end of the newer brands that we want to carry. We have a few other brands that we want to carry before we get to Phoenix.
Great answer. Another thing to keep in mind as well, and we'll talk about this here more in just a moment, but the big thing to keep in mind with this is the bulk sell. You have to buy so much of a model, and unfortunately for the Midwest model store at this time, it's just not justifiable to buy some of those models. Like one that comes to mind is like a Cathay Pacific A340. I don't think that you can, it's not justifiable to, what would it be, like 24 pieces of that or something? So it would be really tough.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure when it comes to Phoenix, but yeah, I'm sure there are collectors, like for example, like a Cathay A340-600. I'm sure that there are some US collectors that want something like that. But especially when we're talking about like some like narrow body Asian models, which they produce quite a lot of, it's a little bit, doesn't make the most sense to just hold a lot of them to meet the minimum order quantities and be able to order them, since we're bringing them in from Asia, of course.
And I'm sorry, that was kind of a bad example. That was just the first one that came to my mind, but really like a Silkway 747 freighter or something. That's kind of one that is kind of like there on the edge. Like it would be tough to get that many. So, and the Midwest Model Store does a great job accommodating all of those US needs. So, and that's also the cool thing about collection sales and whatnot, is you can get some really cool planes that are quite helpful. So that's why I would recommend stocking the Midwest Model Store kind of, so you can get the best deals on that. So great answer right there. Very nice. Alrighty, so our next question comes from Gabe Rosa 69 with the underscore. How many planes can you order from the companies at a time? Do you bulk order hundreds?
Yeah, so when it comes to that, we do typically order quite a bit at once, especially when the models are first released, because they do sell out from the wholesale side of things sometimes right around the release time. All the retailers just buy up the really popular models, but so we do want to order as many as we want, typically in that first round of ordering wholesale, just so we're able to get what we want. But when it comes to how many we typically order, it kind of depends on what models are released. That's typically how we decide what to order. So, for example, if there's a release with a lot of really popular models that will do well in the US, for example, like a bunch of Southwests, maybe some like an American 757, some newer Deltas, stuff like that. We'll order quite a few of those because we anticipate the demand for them among our customers will be pretty high. But if the release has just maybe one or two models that we think will be popular in the US and the others are kind of they're okay, worth it to order them, of course, just so we give our customers the opportunity to order them through us. But not one that we anticipate that will sell a lot of, then we'll typically order a lower amount.
Very nice answer right there. And yes, it's quite a nice phenomenon. It's really cool to see like how far it can vary off. That's really cool in my opinion. So very nice right there. And then following that into our next question from JJ Skippy, how many hours on average do you put into the store, either daily or weekly? Good question right there. I like that question.
Great question. So it kind of is a hard question to answer because it really depends on what's going on with the store. Any given day, of course, I'm working on the store regardless. There's always something to do. But there are times where it's a pretty reasonable workload and, every day I don't have to put in more than a couple of hours. But there are days where, close to tax season, where there's a lot of bookkeeping work to do, I will spend nearly all day working on the store. Or, for example, if we get in a new shipment from a manufacturer and we send out the pre-orders, then it will take me a while to go through because I like to inspect all the models before they go out. So every model before it gets put in the shipping box out to the customer, I will go through and inspect it by hand, which adds a little bit of time, but is absolutely worth it. So we save time down the road with the customer, both for the customer's sake and for our sake. So those, typically bookkeeping and shipping out pre-orders, because they all go the same day that we get the stuff typically, is what can take a lot of time for me. But otherwise, then it's just helping our customers as needed, customer service stuff, and shipping out the the normal orders every day otherwise. So it's not too terrible of a workload. I enjoy the work, so no problem for me.
And if you want to learn more about that process, be sure to check out that retailer to collector video that came out recently as well, which was really helpful for learning about that process as well. But fantastic answer right there, and that was very good.
Absolutely, yeah. Definitely check that video out.
Alrighty, so painting it into our next question, what is your best-selling model from Transport Topic?
So I'm not sure if I know what the best-selling model we have is, or we've ever had was. Although I will say it was probably a narrow body 1 of 400 Southwest model, a modern one. And if I had to guess, it would probably be like a current livery, like a Heart livery Southwest 737, 700, or 800. Maybe by NG or Gemini jets. I would say it's one of those probably.
Really good selling planes, and pretty much anything US domestic wise is really good. But you will see that they're still in the Midwest Model Store when they sell out from most other retailers, because the Midwest Model Store makes sure and ensures that they order a large quantity. So if you're ever looking for a model that you think sold out elsewhere, be sure to check out the Midwest Model Store. Link in the description. Very nice. Following that, we have Diecast Michael 13's question. This question is, what was the model that sold out the fastest? Not the best-selling model, but the model that sold out the fastest.
So for this one, I would say it would be the 1-400 American Eagle CRJ 900 that Gemini Jets released not too long ago.
April 2021.
Yeah, 2021. So about a little over a year ago, I think.
Yes.
So that model, so it was either, in my head, I was thinking it was either going to be that or the Delta CRJ 900 from Gemini Jets a little bit before that. The reason why I chose the American Eagles, when the Delta came out, we weren't really sure what to expect with that, and everybody's quantity was very limited on that, other retailers. So we kind of had to, there was some order cuts that happened with some retailers, and there was some stuff going on. And it sold out fast in the sense that there was a lot of people who even ordered maybe same day or the day after it was announced, and they had their quantities cut. I don't remember exactly what happened. It's been a while now, but some stuff like that had happened. And when the American Eagle CRJ 900 came out, because of what happened with the Delta CRJ 900 previously, people kind of were expecting a similar thing to happen. So a lot of people ordered a lot faster when that one came out. So I would say that the American Eagle CRJ 900 sold out faster, and was probably the fastest model to sell out since we've been in business.
Fantastic answer, man. That's just crazy to still think about Gemini's new era. It's been quite nice. So good stuff. And again, if you're interested in any of those Geminis, be sure to check out the website. We'll talk about it a little bit more here towards the end of the interview. Following that, we have a question from Zach Smith 78. Why are there no more stores? Seems like they're all online. So he's asking why there's no more like physical storefronts. And we kind of tackled that question, the logistics, but I did want to acknowledge we did get this question, and that was answered with the previous one of the physical storefront. So that's kind of the situation with that question. But unfortunately, logistics are not very friendly, especially in an area like we talked about. And that question was previously answered as well. Alrighty, so moving into our YouTube questions here. Thank you guys so much for asking these. Let's get started with Brian S. And here's some questions for the model retailer industry in general. Number one, what do retailers do with the money and funds you receive from customers for pre-orders 6 months to a year prior to delivery? So the Midwest Model Store doesn't have any actual models that usually take that long nowadays. So we're gonna revise this question to make it a little bit more understandable to for the Midwest Model Store situation, to more of like just pre-orders in general, like Gemini Jets and NG models. So that is question number one.
Yeah, so when it comes to pre-orders, we use the amount of pre-orders we get to gauge the demand for a model. So basically, if there are cases where we'll list a model for pre-orders that sells very well, in fact, a lot better than we anticipated it would, and we use that to gauge that the demand was higher than we initially anticipated. So we'll order more than we initially thought we would. And so we use the funds that we get from the pre-orders to order more models, assuming that the demand will continue to stay higher than we anticipated. Had we not had the pre-orders, had we not offered them at all, we would have ordered a smaller amount, and we would have kind of sold out a lot faster than we probably would have, not knowing how popular the model was because of the pre-orders. So that's kind of what we do with pre-orders, and the funds just help us purchase more for the rest of our customers who don't want to pre-order and would rather order them when they're in stock. When it comes to informing our customers on the status of pre-orders, so 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. So typically we don't have pre-orders that last that long. There are a couple exceptions, but typically on most of the models that we carry and sell, for example, your NG models, Gemini jets, we're talking about a matter of weeks to maybe a month or two before those come in and are fulfilled. So typically it's, if the customer orders like halfway between when the pre-orders are announced and when the models come in and are actually shipped to the customer, then honestly the wait time is only usually a couple weeks, and a lot of the customers understand that. And we typically on our pre-order page, on any products that are pre-orders, we put an estimated arrival date for the models if we have one. So we'll typically get, we'll say it's going to arrive next month, or we'll have it a little bit more formally written out. Say it's estimated to arrive October 2022 or something like that. But we typically that's how we keep our customers aware of when stuff is estimated to come in. So we can't guarantee when stuff will come in, because sometimes the manufacturers will delay stuff. Sometimes there'll be a shipping delay, stuff like that. But typically our estimated arrival dates are generally pretty accurate. So that's kind of there's really not a need for our customers to get like specific emails. We don't want to bother them and send them like an email every week or so with an update on this stuff. And also logistically, would be pretty difficult to set up and make sure that that's accurate and stuff. And I mean, most of our customers, if they want to see, if the estimated arrival dates change, they can usually go back to the product page on our website and see if the estimated arrival date is still the same, if it's been pushed back at all. And of course, if someone has a specific question, which we do get regularly, if you pre-ordered something and you're wondering what the status is, when it's going to come in, you're more than welcome to get in contact with us, send us an email, and we'll be happy to let you know when we anticipate the model to come in. So we're happy to do that. So yeah, if you ever have any questions about when it's going to come in, just let us know.
Really, really nice answer, and I was very pleased with that effort. So yes, I have a couple things I would like to add to that. So the first item I would like to say is with the NGs, particularly with how they get delayed, usually you can either look on the NG models website or kind of just tell, like, the Midwest Model Store updates their pitches really quick. So if you see the model pictures already on there, then that's a good sign that you're about to ship. But then if it's the CGI, like for instance, the More to Love Alaska took quite a while, then you'll kind of see that. But you can also check your account and see the order fulfillment too, and all that fun stuff. So, and be sure to work on that with the rewards and all that if you guys do use the Midwest Model Store, because it's really helpful with those rewards and save a lot of money and everything. So I'd highly recommend doing that. It's a really efficient system. So that is really good. The other item that I wanted to add, and this is a little bit off topic, but this might help for clarification, and that it's really helpful when the Midwest Model Store, for instance, went back to Gemini jets and bought several models that came out over the last couple of years. They were able to use those pre-orders to the bulk sales to justify which ones would be good to get in that particular quantity, and that was really helpful going in to be able to sell those as not necessarily not re-releases, but just additional restocks. That's the word I was looking for. So that was really helpful too, and that's another way you can help justifying the bulk sales. So a little off topic, but a little bit of clarification there. Alrighty, going on to Xavier Anasillo. Hopefully I said that kind of right. Here we go with the questions. So number one, how do model sources, let's try that again. How do model stores source their models? Do the companies provide their models directly, or do you have to buy them from distributors? Good question.
Yeah, so it would depend on the manufacturer, and obviously I can't get into it too much. But it depends on the manufacturer, and in some cases we would order directly from the manufacturers, and in some cases there's other ways to purchase the models. But yeah, like I said, it depends on the manufacturer really.
Very nice. And the second question was already answered. The third question, is it hard to start an aircraft model store? Really nice question.
It's kind of a difficult question to answer. It's in terms of like making the website and that kind of like the actual stuff that you see when you go to MidwestModelStore.com. That stuff is not terribly difficult if you're good at the technology. Where it gets difficult is your marketing, finding customers, establishing long-term and positive relationships with your customers. So that they come back and have a pleasant experience and tell their friends, and get good word of mouth growth, kind of like we have. That's kind of the harder part, and also knowing what to order. Luckily, I've been personally a collector of 100 models for a long time, well over 10 years, and as a result, I feel like I have a very strong understanding of what models are popular in the US and which ones are okay and which ones just really are not that popular at all. So just kind of the culmination of these things are necessary to really have a successful retail operation in 1 to 400 model planes. So yeah, it's kind of hard, and it's also easy. It depends which part you're talking about, but some parts are rather difficult and some parts are pretty easy.
I would also think that the legal side of it with the bookwork and everything at start would also be pretty hard if you've never done anything with that. So
that's true. I forgot about that. Most of what I do, honestly, I do more bookkeeping than anything. I do more bookkeeping than I do shipping out, than I do customer service, than I anything really. Bookkeeping is what takes most of the time with this, and that's really how you have a successful business. You really need to be aware of how healthy the business is, how much is coming in, how much is going out, and to try to limit our expenses as much as possible so we can pass on the savings to our customers.
That's why the Midwest Model Store is where they are today. Let's go. And then question 4, can I have America West Airbus A321 the front scale, please? Be sure to stay on the lookout for collection sales, and hopefully you'll be the one to pick that up when it arrives. Alrighty, from YHD Diamond we have, or YHD Diamond, however you want to say that, we had, or YH Diamond, I think is the proper way to say it. We have 2 questions. So question number 1, where are models made?
So the models are, I believe, made in China. Almost all, if not all, the models that we carry are made in China.
Your Gemini Jets NG models are all made in factories over there. Pretty simple stuff, and that's how it works. So definitely could be a more in-depth topic, but just in general, yes, they're made in China for the most part. And the second question, and this is another pretty good one that was a little bit touched on, but going into a little bit more detail on it. How much automation and robots are a part of the creation process versus how much of it is manual labor?
So, I am not too knowledgeable about the manufacturing process of the models. We're going to be talking about specifically 1 of 400 model planes. From what I understand, though, this is what I understand. So I believe that the models, like the actual fuselage and a lot of the pieces, are die-cast metal pieces. So those are made through a die-cast process, like I believe molten like zinc. I believe most models are primarily zinc. And they're so it's molten zinc, so it's like liquid zinc basically, and it is fed into a mold, like a metal mold, and the models basically cool down and take the shape of like the thing in the mold. I don't know what the exact term is. I'm really not super knowledgeable about this, truthfully. But basically, once it cools down, it will take the shape of that model. So say it's a 737, fuselage will take the shape of a 737, and the other pieces, the wings and stuff, I believe are a similar process. It is painted, and then it goes through a like an ink printing machine to apply the liveries, to get the windows on, and the airline liveries and the registration and such. And I believe most of that is done through machines. But then the actual assembly process of like putting the adhesive on the wings and the ailerons and landing gear and stuff, I believe that part is done manually by hand, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure 100%. I believe that's done by hand. And then the model is pretty much made and finished at that point, put into a box.
Very nice. And again, wish we had more insight on that, but when we all live in the US and can't really see that on a regular basis, it's pretty hard to figure out what's going on with that. But really nice answer right there.
Yeah, and manufacturers like to keep that as quiet as possible. Really, they don't like to talk about it too much. It seems like
more of like a privacy security type deal. I don't know too much about it, but what can I say? And then from Jerry's Aviation, this question was already answered. Will you guys make an actual store in real life? Maybe one day. And here comes another couple good questions from Pacific CY to round out our questions today. Number 1, how stressful is it to run a store?
I would say it's not too stressful, really. I mean, there's different ways of operating any business. You can do it. The kind of more long-term way, which is you really take care of your customers and you provide them a good experience, almost that customer's always right kind of mindset. And in doing that, we really have very healthy relationships with almost all of our customers. I can't think of a time where we had like a negative experience with a customer or customers unhappy with our service. We always take care of them. So in doing that, I feel like it kind of helps allow the business to run in a very unstressful manner, which is nice. So, and I also enjoy, I got into this because I like, I used to collect model planes. So I like being around the model planes and just, aviation in general. It's something very fun for me. So I don't find it stressful at all. I enjoy it a lot.
Completely agree, man. Just collecting and having good retailers to order from is so encouraging. So I'd love to see it. Not just an excellent effort right there.
Yeah, and it's fun to engage with the community as well.
Yes, love it. And thank you so much for doing this once again. We really appreciate it. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Check out the Midwest Model Store, link in the description. We'll talk about it a little bit more in a moment. But before that, our final question of this interview, burnout from running the store.
I haven't gotten burnt out yet. It's been almost 2 years. As of right now, I would say I don't think that's going to happen in the near future. I can't predict.
Here's another way to ask it too. Does this feel like you're running a job?
Not really, because I really do enjoy what I do. It really is fun. Like, it really is fun to engage with the community and just be around all the models and aviation in general. It's just so much fun. Like, I really do enjoy it. So I would say no.
I love that effort. I love to hear that.
I don't think I will get burnt out for
that's a really good effort
long
right
time
there.
Ever. Yeah.
Fantastic way to round that out. Very nice. Alrighty, guys, so that was the interview questions. We really appreciate you guys watching this video. Thank you so much, Ali, for coming on once again to do this. Really enjoyed this. And guys, please feel free to check out the website. It is really good. I'll just show you guys some in-stock items on here. Just really good planes right here. And there's so many awesome options for you guys. Be sure to use that discount code Redriveraviation if you do choose to get a model. And again, fantastic website, and I would highly recommend it. Ali, would you have anything to add to the website or just anything that you'd like to let people know about for the website?
Absolutely, and thank you so much, Connor. I really enjoyed our conversation.
Absolutely, yes.
I highly recommend you guys check out Midwest Model Store. I know that there are a lot of there are a few retailers right now in 1 to 400 that have been having some issues recently. I know we've had a lot of customers switch over from a few of those guys, and we'd be happy to see you guys switch over as well. We really do a great job of taking care of our customers. As you can see, our pricing is very competitive with the best out there, really. And I think Connor can attest that our service is just, it is
outstanding. Like, literally, I'll order a model on like a Wednesday and gets here on Friday. I'm just like, wow, normally it's Monday. So, it's really cool to get to see that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have, our fulfillment times are just lightning fast, really, sometimes. And usually the shipping times. The nice thing with us being centrally located in the country is we can get our models out to anyone, no matter where they are in the country, very fast typically and very affordably, which is such a nice feature. So highly recommend you check us out if you're having issues with your current retailer, or if you see a model that you're interested in. Come check us out.
This guys right here, this has sold out everywhere. So this just goes back to the principle of the quantities are really high, and if you missed out on something like this, here's your opportunity.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we try to carry, we try to order as many models so that we have, we can fulfill our pre-orders, of course, and that not only we'll have them for
months
as soon as they become in stock, but that we'll carry them for a while because, just so you don't miss out on the models. We want you guys to get a chance to purchase them. But yeah, we have tons of variety in stock, lots of Asian models, lots of American models, lots of European. A couple Latin American stuff. We really have a lot for everybody. So I highly recommend you guys come check us out.
Now, as you guys can see, if you haven't found something on this first 14 pages that aren't interesting, I don't know what you can say, but really good stuff right here. And again, I'll just show them all since we're at the very end. This is a fantastic set of airplanes, and even more to come with all the pre-orders and everything. So be sure to go check that out. And again, pricing some of the best in the market. Fantastic job, Ali. See this right here. This is like $100 plane on eBay. So go buy it and expect more content where that came from as well. We also want to talk about the newest form that we've been working on as well, the model airliner forum.com. This is a fantastic forum, and we have a lot of great action going on here. We are in the early stages, but we'd highly recommend checking this out as well. If you're looking for a fantastic place to engage with fellow aviation enthusiasts, this will be the best place. And as you guys can see, the format is really clean. It just whips just like that, and you guys can just see everything that's going on, which is really cool. So outstanding effort. I mean, just look at how cool pictures look on here and everything. This is a fantastic forum, and we thought we'd mention this because this is really cool. If you want to find people like Ali and I, you most certainly can find it here on the modelairlinerforum.com. So Ali, anything you'd like to add to our forum going on here?
Yeah, just to clarify, the forum is still in beta, so there's a couple of things, like you'll see the logo still looks a little bit off, but by the time you see this video, the forum should be launched to the public, and it should be all ready to go in its final stage. And we're really excited to engage with the community through this forum. This is uses a very modern forum platform, and it is a very fast platform. Connor, I think you can attest to that. It's very
yeah, dude, just look at it fly right here on clicking on anything. It's so cool. Like, for instance, I can just pull up I was going to go to the airport because I wanted to show how this could work. Like, if you guys want to share a picture of your airport, just like that, boom. Oh, I was trying to get it to click, but just look at that. I mean, that's unbelievable to me. It's awesome.
Yeah. So we're really excited to engage with you guys on the forum here, and we highly recommend you guys come check us out. Make an account, start a thread, come chat with us about model planes. I mean, we're all collectors in there, right? We're all a bunch of aviation enthusiasts. So, the more the merrier, and we'll have some fun in there.
And one of the friendliest forums you're going to find. We love to see it, and that is awesome stuff, to say the least, right there. Thank you guys so much for watching this interview. We really appreciate it. This was so much fun to film. And Ali, once again, thank you so much for coming on board. We really appreciate it. Again, feel free to check out some of the things that we were referencing through this video, like the model airplane going from a retailer to a collector. This was a really fun video to film, and as you guys can see, we go into full detail on like how all this works. What can I say about ads? But nevertheless, really cool video. Highly recommend checking it out. I'll try to put a card in one of the corners. And then following that, once again, feel free to check out the Midwest Model Store. Feel free to use the link in the description. Sorry about the ad right there. It would help out the channel, and I would really appreciate it. And again, thank you so much. Fantastic website with so many awesome models, and I'd highly recommend using it. So much fun. And yes, so Ali, any final items you'd like to talk about before we conclude today's video? And again, once again, thank you so much. We really enjoyed this. I enjoyed the conversation so much, and this was really helpful for hopefully many of you. So thank you guys so much. And Ali, any final words before we conclude today's video?
Thank you so much, Connor. Really appreciated it. If you guys enjoyed this video, I highly recommend you guys go check out the retailer to collector video we did not too long ago. It gives you a lot more of an in-depth look behind the scenes of how everything works. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, I highly recommend you guys go check out that one. And if you guys want to support Red River Aviation's channel, I highly recommend you guys use his code down below for Midwest Model Store, or use his coupon code Red River Aviation at checkout. It will help support Connor's channel.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And again, a fantastic interview we were able to do today. Really appreciate it. I'm so glad we were able to get this in. Ali, thank you so much once again. And I'm really excited for more content to come with Ali. Again, thank you so much, and expect a lot more content where that came from, everybody. So with all that being said, that will do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Just process. Do what you love and love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.